The moment you become easy to predict, you become easy to replace. Most men spend their lives trying to be useful. They think that by being available, by being nice, and by saying yes to every demand, they are building value. They are wrong. They are simply making themselves a convenient tool, and tools are discarded the moment a sharper or cheaper version comes along. If your presence doesn't change the room, your absence won't matter to anyone. That is a cold truth, but it is the only truth that will set you free. Look at the world around you. We live in an era of the plug-and-play human being. In your job, you are a number on a spreadsheet. In your social circles, you are often just a body to fill a seat. Even in relationships, many men find themselves acting as a generic provider or an emotional sponge, wondering why they feel so invisible. You feel it, don't you? That quiet anxiety. The feeling that if you didn't show up tomorrow, the machine would keep turning without a hitch. Someone else would sit at your desk. Someone else would take your place at the table. Modern society rewards the replaceable man because he is easy to manage. He doesn't have edges. He doesn't have firm boundaries. He is flexible, but flexibility, without a core of steel, is just another word for weakness. We have been taught that being a team player means erasing our individuality and our standards. We've been told that to be valued, we must be liked. But there is a massive difference between being liked and being necessary. The struggle begins when you realize you've been playing a losing game. You've been working late, hoping for a nod of approval. You've been the reliable friend who always listens to others' problems but never has his own voice heard. You're doing everything right, yet you feel more disposable than ever. The internal conflict is painful. You want to be a good man. You want to contribute. But deep down, there is a resentment growing. You see men who seem less nice getting more respect. You see men who are less available being sought after. Most men fail here because they react with emotion. They get angry. They demand recognition. Or they do the opposite. They try even harder to please. They become more desperate, more available, and more predictable. They think the solution to being undervalued is to lower their price. They don't realize that by doing this, they are confirming their own lack of value. If you are always there, you have no scarcity. If you have no scarcity, you have no value. This is the trap of the modern male experience. The harder you chase external validation, the faster it runs away from you. You are fighting an inner battle between the desire to be accepted and the soul need to be significant. The shift happens when you stop looking at what others give you and start looking at what you possess within. Value is not something granted to you by a boss, a partner, or a friend. Value is the result of self-mastery. Think about the things that are truly irreplaceable in this world. They are rarely the loudest things. They are the things that are rare, disciplined, and difficult to create. A man becomes irreplaceable when he masters his own mind. Most people are slaves to their impulses. They react to every insult. They follow every trend. They crumble under the slightest pressure. If you can be the man who remains calm when the world is in chaos, you are no longer replaceable. Why? Because that level of emotional discipline is rare. You begin to realize that your value isn't in what you do for people, but in who you are. It's about the skills you've developed in the dark. It's about the principles you refuse to break, even when it's inconvenient. It's about the silence you hold when others are desperately trying to be heard. This isn't advice, it's a realization. When you stop being a commodity, people stop treating you like one. But that requires you to be willing to be alone. It requires you to be okay with not being liked by everyone. To be valuable, you must have a cost. That cost is your standards. There comes a moment in every man's life where he must choose. He can continue to be the man who fits in, or he can become the man who stands apart. Imagine a situation where you are being pressured to compromise your integrity. The old you would have folded to keep the peace. But the man of value, the Stoic man, simply says, no. There is a terrifying power in that word, no. When you say no, you are declaring that your time, your energy, and your principles have a boundary. You are showing that you are not a tool to be used, but a force to be respected. The climax of this journey isn't a promotion or a round of applause. It is the moment you look in the mirror and realize you don't need their permission anymore. You see a man who has cultivated a set of skills and a level of character that cannot be replicated by a simple search or a cheaper hire. You have built an inner fortress. You have become the person who can walk away from any table where respect is no longer being served. And ironically, the moment you are truly willing to walk away is the moment you become most valuable to those at the table. This is the peak of self-respect. It's not loud. It doesn't need to shout. It is the quiet confidence of a man who knows his own worth because he built it with his own hands, through his own discipline, in his own time. Strength does not come from the mastery of others. It comes from the mastery of self. If you find yourself feeling replaceable today, do not blame the world. Do not ask for more appreciation. Do not complain that people don't see your worth. Instead, go back to the forge. Work on your craft until you are the best at what you do. Work on your body until it is a reflection of your discipline. Most importantly, work on your mind until your peace is independent of external events. A man who is content within himself is a threat to a world that wants to control him. He is valuable because he cannot be bought. He is irreplaceable because he is the only version of himself that exists, undiluted, uncompromised, and unafraid. True value is found in the things the world cannot take away: your character, your resilience, and your self-control. When you focus on these, the question of whether you are replaceable disappears. Because you aren't playing their game anymore, you are playing your own. Stay grounded, stay disciplined,